Welcome to the April 2015 episode of Iowa City in Focus. I'm your host, Mary Bryant. Well, it's spring, so what better topic for this month than Iowa City parks? On this month's episode, I'll talk with Mike Moran about Chadek Green, a new park on the east side of Iowa City at the intersection of Friendship Street and Fifth Avenue. Then I'll meet with Karen Howard for an update on the plans the city has to restore the Iowa River and put in a park at the site of the old wastewater treatment plant. Stay tuned! Today I'm talking with Mike Moran, Iowa City's Director of Parks and Recreation, and we're out at a new park. Mike, can you introduce us?
Sure. This is called the Chadek Green Park. It was purchased in October of 2014. We're very proud to have had the opportunity to buy this. It's located right in the heart of Iowa City. It's about a 5-acre plot of land, and we've been working with the family to try to obtain this plot for quite a while, so we're really proud to have it in our registry of Iowa City parks.
Great. So tell me a little bit about the history of the area.
Well, Carl Chadek was a well-known businessman in Iowa City, and everybody knows him for his dump trucks and his dirt, because he used to have a big dirt pile out here, and so he'd go around and deliver good old Iowa black earth to everybody. And I believe he bought it around 1937, so it's been in the family for a long time. Prior to 1937, it had a factory on it that did wagon wheels, and it did buttons, and it did perfume bottles, and there's a lot of history behind that. And in fact, on some of the land, the foundation still exists, but it's like 2 or 3 feet below the surface. So it's got some historical significance to us that we'll have to explore with on that. The 3 daughters lived here just across the street from the park with their mom and dad. And the oldest daughter, Jeanette, still lives here in town. And then there's a daughter that lives up in Solon, and then one over in Wisconsin. So we've been dealing with the 3 daughters of the family. So it's been a great ride, and it's been a nice park that we're going to be able to utilize for everybody.
So what sort of features will the park have?
Well, the first thing that we're going to put in is garden plots. Carl was an avid gardener, and the neighborhood all knew that because they saw him come out and tend to his garden. So we're going to put garden plots in here that'll be available for the public to register for on Monday, April 6th, starting at 7:30 in the morning at the Recreation Center. It'll be a $12 fee for a 10 by 20 lot. And water will be available on site just for people to utilize, but no hoses or anything, just buckets and to use lightly like that. So we're going to put in as many garden plots as we can fit down in the southeast corner of the land, because that's where his garden was. And basically that's it. We're going to try to put together about a 5 or 6 year plan for the development of this. I don't expect anything grand like baseball fields or soccer fields. I think we're going to try to keep it as much of a green space as we can so people can just enjoy and come over and take a walk.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Yeah, and we're really looking forward to it. This is a great piece of property that we needed in the center of town. It's just south of City High School and Court Street, and I think that a lot of people will appreciate the fact that we're taking care of it now and not the family, and that we're going to be the caretakers of it. And then another feature that we're going to have is we've been installing new park signs throughout the city, if folks have been paying attention to those, and we'll have a new park sign here on the corner of 5th Street and Friendship for everybody. And then along with that, we're going to have a little historical plaque that'll give some of the significance and some of the history of what's been going on in this plot of land. The daughters all have vivid recollections, and I think some of the neighborhood all has vivid recollections of what's happened in this park, in this area. So we want to sort of encapsulate that a little bit, put it on a plaque so that people can come in and read about it, and maybe just sort of get a feel for how important this piece of property has been over the years and what's happened to this piece of property over the years as well. So I think the neighborhood will have some vested interest in this and really be proud of it once we get everything in place, and once they see people using it and coming in and enjoying everybody's piece of property.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it all in the full green of summer.
Yeah, it needs some work. It needs a little TLC, and we're going to give it that over the next 6 months. So I'm looking forward to open up the doors, if you will, and letting people come on in and use it.
So do you have anything else that is coming out of Parks and Rec here?
No, we just have ongoing park projects. We're working with the neighborhoods on a lot of different park projects. Highland Park, we're going to do a little renovation of Highland Park. We're doing a new renovation of Tower Court Park, and then we're finishing up a project on Hickory Trail Park. So a lot of the neighborhoods in town are getting interested, invested in their parks, and so we're trying to work with them one-on-one to try to get them, you know, put in things that they want to see and things that, you know, really mean a lot to them. And those are exciting projects when you meet with folks and get those done.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a lot going on. It's spring and we're really busy.
Well, thanks for taking some time to talk with me about it today.
Sure, it's always been a pleasure.
Now let's head across town to check out the site of the former North Wastewater Treatment Plant, where another new park is in the works. Now I'm with Karen Howard, a city planner for the city of Iowa City, and we're at the site of the old wastewater treatment plant. So Karen, can you tell me what exactly is the situation here?
Well, back in 2008, as everybody kind of remembers, we had a major flood, and this whole area was inundated. This is the city's North Wastewater Treatment Plant, and it was all inundated with floodwaters from the Iowa River flood. Mm-hmm. And we also have one of our major urban creeks that runs through this area, Ralston Creek, which drains a lot of East Iowa City. So we have two major urban waters converging in this place, and a major public facility here. So what we have tried to do, and this is all part of the Riverfront Crossings plan, mm-hmm. is to decommission this wastewater treatment plant, to demolish it this spring, and make room for a new resilient floodplain park, basically.
Okay, so what sort of features are planned for this park?
Right now, the main feature, though, the first phase of the park will be to naturalize the stream corridor, the Ralston Creek stream corridor that runs through the park. And to create a resilient sort of wetland feature in the southern part of the park. And we're hoping to make that sort of a demonstration project for how the stream benefits and the water quality benefits, the habitat benefits of wetland features, mm-hmm. and how we could use that demonstration project to do other projects along Ralston Creek in the future. Because it does, like I say, drain a lot of East Iowa City, goes through a lot of our neighborhoods. So we should use the city's property really to create some education pieces focused on green infrastructure, mm-hmm. how we can be more resilient to flooding, mm-hmm. How we can create more sustainable neighborhoods. So that's the first phase of the park. Other elements in the park, of course, we want to have better access to the Iowa River for kayaking and canoeing, for fishing, just to be able to enjoy the riverfront. Right now, there's a lot of facilities, quasi-industrial uses along the river right now that blocks access for the public over to the Iowa River. So we're hoping to make it more accessible to the public, for people to enjoy it. A lot more trails, and it's also some adventure features we have sort of planned in the future. Potentially could be a zip line, maybe that even would go across the river. And climbing walls, bouldering course is shown in the master plan. And also some other features that would celebrate really Iowa City as a city of literature, mm-hmm. Some areas for public art, and those kinds of amenities. So a lot of things that we could put in this urban park. And then we also are trying to remember that this will become sort of the front yard of the new neighborhood that will grow around this park in the future. Because as we all know, once the wastewater treatment plant is gone, a park is a much better neighborhood, but not much better neighbor than a wastewater treatment plant. And so we're hoping that this will be a catalyst for new redevelopment, new housing in the area, new commercial development that would form around this park and create a new neighborhood, so that people could have this as their neighborhood park.
So what about the river itself? Do I understand correctly that there are going to be some restorative updates?
We're studying the river at the same time we're studying the plan for this park. So we have hired a firm out of Colorado, McLaughlin Whitewater Design Group, and they have a lot of hydraulic engineers that have helped us study how this park will help with future flooding, and also if there are features we want to do in the river itself to restore the banks, to stabilize the banks, how that affects anything we do in the river, of course, affects everything downstream. So we need to make sure that we're careful in how we design everything here to make sure it's the best fit. They're also studying the safety of the Burlington Street Dam, and how that's really a safety risk right now, and how to make that safer for the public. And there might be some opportunity for whitewater recreation as a part of that project in the future, but we're still studying that aspect because that's pretty complicated up by the Burlington Street Dam.
Okay, so we'll have to stay tuned on that.
Right.
So tell me, as I understand it, Ralston Creek has more flash flooding issues because it's sort of it takes up the storm water and takes it out. Is that part of what this park is going to be dealing with as well?
Well, right. Part of the idea of creating the wetlands piece as a sort of off-channel wetlands, off the channel of the Ralston Creek, is we naturalize the stream corridor, and then we create these off-channel wetlands. So when in a flooding event, then more water would flow into that wetland area, and then it would seep down into the ground and help clean the water as it seeps down back into the water table. So that whole system can work better together. Because this is where the confluence of Ralston Creek goes into the Iowa River, of course, when the Iowa River floods, it tends to back up the creek. So there's two types of flooding events, and all of that affects Ralston Creek in this particular location.
Okay, well, it'll be doing double duty then.
Right.
So what sorts of funding or programs have you utilized to deal with this big project?
Well, we have a lot of funding partners in the planning. So far, we've done a lot of planning grants. The Iowa DNR has been a really good partner for us, particularly on the water issues in the Iowa River. They have a dam mitigation program to help make dams, low-head dams in Iowa safer. So we've gotten quite a bit of money from the Iowa DNR to study that aspect of the project. The EPA has always been generous with us. They help fund our riverfront crossings plan. They have given us an urban waters grant to help study the river issues. And also the green infrastructure grant was a technical assistance grant from the EPA. And so we had a consultant from a firm called Tetra Tech that has helped us design then a preliminary design for the restoration of Ralston Creek and the wetlands feature. And then we're hoping that we can be able to extend those green fingers out into the new neighborhoods as they form, and hopefully incorporate some green infrastructure to help absorb the stormwater from the new buildings that would form. So that has been really educational for us, I think. And I think the report that we get from that firm will be helpful in us in doing the final design of this aspect of the park. We did receive a Great Places grant from the state of Iowa to help fund this as well, because we, of course, are trying to create a great place here. And so that was very helpful. I think that's basically our funding partners on this. You know, we had a lot of funding partners.
That's great. I am so excited about this project, and I can't wait to see how it transforms.
Right, and I think part of the planning effort really is to help people envision what this place could be, because right now it doesn't look too pretty with a wastewater treatment plant and sort of rundown areas along in this area. So we're hoping to be able to create some energy and excitement about the park and to create a catalyst for new development that'll occur.
Great. Well, thanks for talking with me today, Karen.
You're welcome.
You can watch all of these segments again at citychannel4.com/video or by turning to Channel 5 and calling in to Video on Demand. Also, we would like to know what other city departments or programs you'd like to hear more about. Let us know by sending an email to info@citychannel4.com or by leaving a comment on the City Channel 4 Facebook page at facebook.com/citychannel4. Thanks for watching and keeping Iowa City in focus. You're watching City Channel 4. On TV, online, on demand, on Facebook, and now on the go on your mobile device.